Welcome back to the Diabetic Diet Show. Today I'm going to make a tuna casserole. For this, you will need either cream of mushroom soup or cream of celery soup. Today I'm going to do the cream of celery. You'll need condensed milk. I'm using coconut milk. It's better for you. Of course, as many cans of tuna as you want to make. You have to do at least one can, maybe two. Next, you'll need a can of peas and some mushrooms. I bought a can that has the two of them together. Paprika for the sprinkle on top, black pepper. You'll need onions. Take your pick. I have white or yellow. You know, white is a little harsher than the yellow is. You'll need noodles. For noodles, you want to pick the type of noodle that has these spirals around them, because then the ingredients that you're making sticks better to the noodles. So anything that you're making where you need ingredients to stick to the noodles, that's what you want to use. You'll need celery, and you'll need cheese. It's recommended by most people that make this that you use a Monterey Jack. I have a 4-part mix, which is really good. Then mayonnaise, of course, is one of the main ingredients always with tuna. And then lastly, as an option, I would recommend this, that you break up some crackers with onions and you fry them up in a frying pan and you put them on top in the last few minutes while it's cooking. Okay, so let's get started. I have the pan for the noodles. I have the water. So what I do is 1 hand of pasta per person. Okay, so you're cooking for 2 people, 2 hands of pasta. And I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but really it's enough. When the noodles are done, you're going to want to strain them. So go ahead and get the water out of them. And then put them back in the hot pan. Next, you'll need your casserole. I'm going to put in the bottom of the casserole dish my noodles. And next, I have to put in my measurements of the products. So we're going to use at least a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, a 1/4 cup of milk, 1 cup of cheese, and then you're also going to put cheese on top later. So if all you have is 1 cup, save a little bit. You're going to need a 1/2 an onion, 1/2 of a celery cup, 4 ounces of mushrooms, or in this case, I have the can mixed together. You'll need the black pepper and the paprika with just about a sprinkle of your palm. And of course, all these ingredients and measurements, you'll find all those over at the website, which is jamestdds.blogspot.com. And of course, don't forget to click on the subscribe button now and the bell, so when I drop a new video, you'll get notified. Because I have some other tuna items that are coming, and I know you're going to like those as well. So the next thing I want to do is I want to put in my ingredients. Now, I'm going to end up making this only for 2 people. Okay? So I have my measurements, and of course, I know how much these are by how I'm adding them. Now, peas, mushrooms, okay, stir all those in. Now the cream of celery. By the way, I have the oven preheating to 325 degrees right now. Tuna, mayonnaise. Mayonnaise you got to put in a little bit because you need a half a cup. I like to keep cold things like mayonnaise cold, so I like to throw them back in the refrigerator. Okay, pepper. Not much comes out of this. I'm not real worried. It's not like the big measurement things. I like to do paprika in pinches. Turn this around where you can see it. Let's get started. I'm going to use a yellow onion for this. Now, I want to cut this yellow onion in half. So I'm going to cut it long ways onto the roots. So I've peeled off the outer. Now I have it where the roots are on the left and the right hand side. So when you have it, what you do is cut off the bottom, which is the small little root area, and then slice in like this. I have my finger on top of the knife so I can control it. Then when you cut down, you get nice small onions that are more pleasant for eating or using in a casserole. Okay, one more time. Move this out of the way. It's still cut quite a bit, but just to be sure, I'm going to cut it up more. So I want the onions small. This isn't like some recipes where you want the large quartered mushrooms and onions together. Just flick them right off there like that. See how they come off there? Real nice like that. Nice small. Just like that. Okay, so I have the mushrooms all set. Now the next thing is some celery. I like celery a lot, but celery can be overwhelming. So I have 1.5 big sticks here and part of one here that's smaller. So I'm just going to stack these up here, cut off the end, then celery, and I slice it down long ways to make sticks, setting the knife at an angle forward and the knife back against my fingers. So I feel the top of the knife first, and I can guide where it's going to land. And now I have made some really nice looking matchsticks. Once again, because this is a casserole, we want stuff small. When you go for a bite, you don't want to be getting a bite of celery. You want a celery, you want an onion, you want some tuna in there. You want to taste it all. See how nice and small I have these? With some cheese, and then stir it up. So I'm just going to take a handful of the cheese. Sprinkle it over the top so that it gets broadcast evenly. Stir it in. Looking really good. I want to eat this right now. I'm like Garfield the cat. I never met a bowl of tuna casserole I didn't like. And with the celery mix and the mushrooms, this is good. This is going to be delicious. Okay, now the only thing left to do with this is to cover it and throw it in the oven. Okay, I've set it for 20 minutes and then we'll check it. Okay, let's get started on our crackers and onions. So let's go ahead and put some olive oil in there. I'm using about a handful of these just for me. This is about how much I like. Now, I'm going to put another layer of oil on top of that. You know, olive oil is part of the keto diet. You can use as much of this as you want. It's really good for you. And sometimes I use peanut oil too, or sesame seed oil, depending on the flavor of the meal that I'm making. Okay, now I need to go to the other part of that onion that I reserved. From a half an onion, I used a quarter of it for inside the meal. Once again, I'm going to go back to doing my short little stabs in here without hopefully hitting my fingers. You know, in a commercial restaurant, they wear a special glove made with chain. I don't think anybody uses those. Just have to be careful. And if you cut yourself, rinse your hand with some hydrogen peroxide. Throw a Band-Aid on it, and then put a disposable glove over your hand to finish cooking your meal. And I'll have a first aid video which you'll be able to see coming out shortly. You can check my video list where it has a list for more serious cuts. The pan has been frying up for a few minutes here. It's starting to look pretty good. I think I'll just kind of check it a little bit. See what it looks like. They're starting to toast up. I want everything to brown up. Onions take a few minutes. But it is good to get them all mixed into the oil more. Like this. They're starting to look good. They're getting all browned up. I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off. I'm going to let them sit and cool for a little bit so they don't overcook. Now I'm going to bring out the casserole dish. I'm going to put these on top of the casserole dish, and then I'll put it back in for a few minutes with the lid off to let it brown up. And then another handful of cheese. Sprinkle over the top. And I like a lot of cheese. So in my recipe, I use 2 handfuls. So let's throw this back in the oven and let's let it go for a few minutes. Now it's time to take out the tuna casserole and let's see what it looks like. Now we'll just serve it up and see how it tastes. Here we go. Looks delicious. That's our show for today. Don't forget to click on the subscribe button and click the bell so when we drop a new video, you'll get notified. Goodbye for now.